the Move Makers. And if you're not familiar with Carolyn herself or her company, I encourage you to do so. I've known her for a few years. Very, very lovely, interesting person. In fact, Carolyn's dad lives in the neighborhood of my business, and I've had the opportunity to get to know him over the last few years, and he provides me with a lot of nuggets of wisdom here and there. So that's, you know, my little personal connection to Carolyn. But Carolyn has a great business that serves a lot of people in multiple communities. She's also on boards of numerous organizations that she volunteers her time for. So she is all around a good person that you do want in your sphere. So with that, I'm going to hand it over to Carolyn and have her share whatever she'd like to about her business with us today. And at the end, I'll prompt for questions. So Carolyn, over to you.
Thank you so much, Julia. That was quite an intro. Thank you. I'll try to live up to that. I'm Carolyn Rowe, as Julia said. I'm a native Californian. Sorry, don't hold that against me. I love it here. My favorite thing is building systems. And I moved to Oregon in 2012 with the intention of building a company. I didn't know anybody in Oregon, and I'd been an organizer, a professional organizer, and a project manager for many years. I found that building a team has been more challenging, time-consuming, and rewarding than I ever thought possible. So what do we do? This is the number one thing that we have. It's hard to, you know, it's been hard to explain because it's an industry that is not very prominent at the moment, but it's very much developing. So I'm going to ask you guys, who here feels like they have just the right amount of stuff? Anybody? I don't. Yeah. Okay. So we you know, stuff is kind of what we deal with, and our purpose is to help people who are downsizing and moving make the process simpler. So the people that we work with they could be older adults who maybe need to move and they're overwhelmed, and maybe they've lived in their house for 30 or 40 years and their kids are busy when they're moving. So we help with that. Anyone getting their home ready for sale, we partner with a lot of realtors. The client says, I really want to move, but I don't have time to sort all my stuff and I don't know what I'm doing. And lately we've been called upon to completely orchestrate moves. So the client and their family is not there. They're out of the way because they don't want to, you know, be, you know, it's maybe dangerous or their health is compromised. So we have the ability to, you can not be there at all, and we can get you completely moved. So how do we do this? We have it right now. I have a team of 14 incredible team members. Everyone always asks me, you know, how I find team members, but they always find me. I've never advertised. People kind of find that they want to help other people, and it's a really nice way to do that. We've helped, you know, hundreds of people. We have move managers, people that specialize in packing. We have an operations manager, and we all work together we've developed processes that work and they provide relief right away. So the things that we do are, we always start with a plan. We're very big on planning. It includes like a floor plan of where you're moving, so you can decide about furniture, finding the right mover, anybody else you need, and what to do with everything that you're not taking with you. Next we kind of move on to sorting and making decisions about what's going to support you in the next part of your life, right? And so we think this is a huge opportunity, moving, to edit all your belongings. Then we pack and carefully pack everything, and sometimes we inventory if things are going into storage so that nobody has to open up boxes to find everything. We supervise the entire move, so you cannot be there. We make sure everything goes to the right place. We unpack after that and put everything away in a very nice and organized way. And then we go back and we supervise whatever's going to happen with everything you didn't take with you. So most of our clients don't go back for that. We just take care of everything and hand it over to the realtor. So our biggest challenge is getting the word out about what we do, because there are literally no Google, there are no search words for move management. That's where all of you can help me. You can go onto Facebook, and you can go onto our website. We've enlisted the help of Edge One Media, and they've been wonderful. We get lots of calls for moves, just the truck, and we do not have a truck because that is just one little piece of what we do, and we concentrate on doing what we do best. And other facts about our company, we always start with a free consultation, so to see if we're a fit and how we can help. We have workshops every month, and they were in person, but now they're virtual, and you can bring your downsizing, organizing problems to us, and we help you solve them and give you some of our best tips about that. We recently received our A+ accreditation from the National Association of Senior Move Managers, which means we adhere to a standard of ethics and industry best practices, and we take good care of clients and employees. During COVID, we've refined our 16-part internal training program, so we have video, we have quizzes. It's really awesome. We've expanded our policies and procedures. We have 8 handbooks. There's one for every job in the company. Everyone thinks I'm crazy when I say that. We've gotten a certificate in COVID safety. We've been working through the pandemic. And we really have a path for growth, and we love being your trusted resource for downsizing and relocation.
Wow.
I went over, I'm sorry.
No, that's great. If anybody has a question for Carolyn, I would invite you to raise your hand now. I will say that I have witnessed some of these workshops that Carolyn and her team have put on. They've been hosted at my business. And I'll tell you, super interesting, all the different folks that take the workshops and what motivates them. Some of them are, adult children my age dragging in their, 80-year-old parent who just has to start doing something to downsize and move to the next step in their housing lives. So their team is just incredible. They have a gentle touch with those folks and are full of information. And I would encourage you at any turn possible to, without hesitation, to recommend Carolyn's team if you have needs. Does anybody have any questions for Carolyn? All right, Anastasia, if you'll go ahead and go off mute, ask your question.
Okay. Hi, Carolyn.
Hi.
Can you give an example of kind of your typical client? Are they folks who are downsizing, or are they families that are relocating, or what's that look like?
Yeah, a typical would be, well, in all these years, we don't have any two that are exactly alike, but like a daughter or son might call us and say, hey, I'm in San Francisco, and my parent, needs to, move. And so we just kind of start that conversation, and we always keep in mind like who the client is, is the person moving always. Mm-hmm. So we are very good communicators. So they might need to, schedule the whole move, and then they need it. We go through a process of the downsizing part where it's actually really fun. And actually when I've downsized 4 times, and I always get help because it's so darn fun. It's way different if it's not working with somebody and you're not just, you get to something and you get stuck on it, but working with an organizer is super fun. So we kind of take the load off the kids to come, to stop life and come and spend a month, and then we kind of work in concert with the family to provide anything they want. And all of our menu is a la carte. So if they don't need one service, a lot of times they'll do the unpacking themselves, or they'll, but we'll make sure everything's coordinated. So yeah.
So Carolyn, if somebody simply has a storage unit that has just been the dumping ground for everything for a couple years and they're looking to liberate that.
Oh yeah.
I'm asking for a friend, of course.
Those are some of our favorites. Yes, and we have some processes that we do that make it really easy. And mostly it's the decision making is really exhausting. So we have ways to make it a little bit easier. We chunk it down into small parts. And we always get it done. Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah. And
Well, Carolyn, thank you for sharing about your business today. I'm seeing one more hand from Amy Valentine. If you would entertain one more question, Carolyn.
Sure.
Hi, Carolyn. I was just wondering about the stuff that your clients want to leave behind.
Mm-hmm.
Do you sell it for them, or do you do a state? I mean, how does that work?
So we always ask in the planning process, we always try to find out what the motivation is for the client, because there's not one solution. So if the motivation is time, we have resources for that. If it's money, we have resources. And if it's feeling good, we find resources. So that's the first step, is to figure out what the motivation is. And then we are not, like, because we do what we do, we are not experts in all of those things. And so we have resources that we work with all the time, and more than one in each kind of field. We have more than one estate sale person, more than one like consignment shop, and more than one place to donate. And we have a person, our operations manager is actually in charge of all those relationships and finding the resources and making sure that they're up to our standards. So yeah, so we have, it can be anything. And a lot of people come in, they just say they want an estate sale right away, but it turns out that, there's another, when we dig into it, there's a better thing to do for them. So that's not always the right thing.
Perfect.
But we always find a solution.
Excellent. Well, thank you, Carolyn. Really appreciate you sharing about the move makers this morning. Well done.
Thanks.
And you did use more time